Well, hey y'all, today we're doing things just a little bit different. Today I've compiled a list of all of the tools and gadgets and whatnots that I use in every single project. This is also coming out on Black Friday of 2025, so there will be a small section of the few Black Friday deals that I thought were worth mentioning, but the rest of the list is available all the time. Well, all the items are available all the time, but the prices will only be available for Black Friday 2025. So with that said, let me go ahead and give you the list of items that I use every single day. So we're going to start the list off today with all of the Black Friday deals that are for 2025. Now, like I said, all of these items are things that I still use every single day and are on that list of things that I use all the time. But the actual prices will only be available Black Friday of 2025. So it's a short list, so if you want to fast forward, I completely understand. Just know I'm probably going to mention them a few times as well. Also, I know there's no project today, but you may get a sneak peek of a few projects that are coming up in this video. So make sure to watch through to the end so you don't miss any of those sneak peeks. So first up on this list is the brushless combo kit. So this is a drill and driver kit, and it's from Cobalt. It's a 24 volt Max C brushless combo kit, and it is $99 right now, normally $249. That is a phenomenal deal. Now, I use a DeWalt version because, well, I use what I have, and that is what my husband has handed down to me. So he has, bought one of these deals along the way and had a couple extra tools and has given them to me. So that's what I use all the time. But the Cobalt version of this, I have read the reviews, and it is a very reputable combo kit as well. Next up is the Cobalt 3-pack utility knife set. Now, this is something every home should have in their house. And if you don't, go out and get yourself a utility knife. This is something I use on almost every single project, even if it's just opening up Amazon boxes, right? So that 3-pack set is $14.98, and it is originally $19.98. Next up is something that I desperately need because I am notorious for taking my project to cut on top of, a box that we've built for a planter or, the edge of the deck or a table that, is not meant for holding tools and holding cutting things on. So these are the Craftsman 33.6-inch metal sawhorses. And this is something, like I said, I desperately need. Those are $16.98, originally $26.98. So you're saving $10 with the sawhorses. So I am definitely going to be getting myself a set of those. Next up, you buy a toolkit and you get 2 tools for free. So Cobalt version is you buy a 24 volt 4-piece combo kit, which I think it's a circular saw and a couple other things I can't remember off the top of my head, but I'll put the picture here on the screen. And it's $249. But when you buy that kit for $249, you can get 2 tools for free. It's a circular saw, a sander, an impact driver, and a drill driver. Now, the DeWalt version of that is a bit pricier. It's $299, and you buy 2 batteries plus the battery charger, which is an absolute necessity if you're using cordless tools. And then you can pick up 2 power tools for free. So you can pick out whichever ones you want. Like I said, that's probably how my husband got a few of the tools that extra that he has. I have the jigsaw, I have the drill, I don't have a circular saw because I don't know how to use it. I have the sander. All of those were in a kit at one time. The next up, and this is something that I purchased recently that has been phenomenal. They have upgraded the box that the kit actually comes in, and that is absolutely essential. So this is a DeWalt Tough Grit bit kit. This is all the bits that you need for a drill. So they're drilling and they're for screwing and unscrewing screws, but it all sits in the kit nicely. Like they fit into the little grooves and they stay there. I can't tell you how many little kits I've had and the bits go all over the place because they just don't sit into the kit of the storage box very well. So this is $24.98. It was originally $49. The next essential thing for a DIYer or a homeowner for that matter is pliers. And this is a 5-piece combo set for $19.98. This is another thing that I'm probably going to be picking up because, well, they seem to come up missing all the time. They have little legs and they walk away somewhere. Not saying they might be in my husband's truck or anything, but pliers are always needed. And this 5-piece set is great because it has the size for the project that you're actually doing. So if you need to get little nail heads out and you need to get into little spaces, there's the needle nose pliers in there. And then up from there, you need to pull on something heavier. They're there and there as well. So that's a 5-piece set for $19.98, originally $32.98. Next up, this is not the brand that I use, but this was a phenomenal deal and I just felt I had to mention it. It's a Metabo HPT 10-inch, 15-amp bevel compound miter saw for $99, y'all. That is a phenomenal price. It's originally $179. This is a corded version of a miter saw. But if you're going to be doing any sort of home projects, base trim, shelving, oh goodness, what other, picture frame molding, anything like that, a chop saw is absolutely essential. Even if you're going to be doing some furniture flipping, I've made furniture bases. I've even done some trim for doors and things like that on furniture using my miter saw. So that is an essential. And so that's why I say this deal for $99 is fabulous. This is at Lowe's, by the way. And if you didn't know, you can purchase them online and have them shipped to your house, or you can pick them up at the store if you would like. So once you use these links, yes, I get a small proceed for you using the links. So that helps this channel continue to bring you more projects, and it helps me to share more projects with you. So if you could go ahead, use the links, and then you can just go ahead and pick them up at the store. So you may notice a QR code down here on your screen. So if you're on your TV or if you're on a computer, you can go ahead and take your phone and scan over that QR code, and it's going to take you directly to all of the links that I am mentioning here today. Okay, I've got 3 more deals. They are a 4-pack of the DeWalt batteries. So if you have some cordless tools, once you buy one brand of cordless tool, you have to buy the batteries that go with those tools. So these are 4-pack of 20-volt batteries. They're originally $359. And they're on sale for $99, y'all. That is a steal of a deal. So run down there and grab you a pack of those. The next thing that is on my list that I really desperately need, and every shop should have one, and every DIYer should have one. If you're doing any sort of DIY projects, whether it be drywall repair or any sort of cutting of things, sometimes you have to do them inside. A shop vac is desperately needed. So this is a 16-gallon shop vac for $59.98. Originally was $129. So great deal on that as well. And if this is another wish list item of mine, and that is a Craftsman tool storage. It's 3 boxes, and it would fit all of the tools all in one place. So it is $89, originally $139. And then last on the list is the 2-pack Craftsman tape measure kit. It's not a kit. It's just 2 packs of tape measures, 25 feet, $14.98, originally $34.98. Tape measure is absolutely essential for anything you're going to be DIYing in your home. Now let me share with you, Wagner has phenomenal deals out for Black Friday. So please run over to Amazon and pick these up. You can either get the Wagner Flexio 5000, which is the one that I use all the time. I'm looking to upgrade though, and they're about the same price for the Earlex. It is all metal parts versus the Wagner 5000. It has all plastic parts, and they are an HLVP paint sprayer. But like I said, the other has all metal parts, and it also has a larger jug for spraying paint. So I am really looking at upgrading and getting that. So that might be coming in the new year. But if you want to pick it up, that is a phenomenal price. That one is listing at $100 off right now, y'all. So head over to Amazon and make sure you pick those up. Like I said, I use them all the time. I pick up my sprayer whenever I want to get projects done quickly, easily, and all my furniture. It gives it that perfectly smooth coat. I know you probably are thinking, when would I ever use it? But if you're doing any number of doors in your home, if you're doing it, you can even paint an entire room if you want to. You need to make sure you're masking everything off very well, but you can paint your room. You can paint any type of furniture. You're doing a whole bunch of molding that you're putting in the house. Get out the sprayer. It takes so much. It is just so much quicker to just grab that sprayer and spray everything down. I have a project coming up, which I'll put the sneak peek in right here, where I had to do a bunch of something, and I just grabbed my sprayer and sprayed them all rather than sitting there individually painting each one tediously. So I say a paint sprayer, now that I have used it for several years now, I couldn't live without it, really. So that concludes all the Black Friday deals. Now here's the list of all of the things that I use. I'm going to start with a list of things that you possibly could use as stocking stuffers for your DIYer. So something that I've picked up and has become extremely handy, especially if you're doing a stripping of furniture or you just need to sand in those little nooks and crannies somewhere. Sometimes when you're putting up, like that picture frame molding, or you're putting up molding in your house, you have those little tiny corners that you need to get into to fill the little nail hole. Well, these sanding sticks are absolutely phenomenal. So pick those up. They're less than $10 for like a pack of 100. So great thing to throw in somebody's stocking that, does a lot of DIY projects, furniture flipping, or anything like that. Rub and Buff is another DIY essential. So this is a waxy kind of substance that is very pigmented with metallics. So there's gold, there's silver, and black in this kit that I'm showing you today. There's 2 different golds as well. So that's really key. I really like to blend the antique gold and the gold leaf together to really get the perfect gold color. But you can put this on anything to just give it that perfect metallic finish. So you can tell the little you can tell the candle holders behind me. That's all Rub and Buff, y'all. Those aren't brass. That's Rub and Buff. All-purpose Bondo is another essential for a DIYer. I go through this a lot. So any type of furniture repair, any type of repair that you're going to be doing, say there might be some wood rot a little bit on some trim outside, or there might be anytime you want to fill in any sort of larger holes on wood, all-purpose Bondo is essential. And there's a little small version that would be perfect for a stocking stuffer. And with that being said, wood filler is another. Bondo is great for one type of purpose where it's larger holes, but if you've got those smaller holes, you want to grab some wood filler. With that being said, glazing putty is another essential that I have recently found that is absolutely, oh my God, a game changer when it comes to getting that just really super smooth surface. That glazing putty fills in all of the very hairline cracks and crevices. So that's another essential that would be a great stocking stuffer. So the Zebra brand of brushes are probably my favorite. They are a phenomenal price point, as well as they just clean so well and they give you such a smooth coat. You see very little brush strokes with these brushes, and they've actually come out with some detail brushes that I actually don't have yet, but I'm looking at getting. So I'm hoping that maybe my secret Santa will be putting them in my stocking this year. There's two different versions. There's really teeny tiny for very small detailed work or murals. And then there's a little bit larger version. So they're about 1/2 inch or so wide. So there's a 3-pack of the different types of those as well. That both those kits are phenomenal. And with that being said, with the Zebra, this is a furniture painting kit. I think Lowe's listed as a home painting kit, but these brushes, the 1-inch brush I use a lot. The mini angled, used for cutting in and all sorts of things. And then the round brush I use, oh my gosh, all of them I use all the time. So you'll see these in videos several times. So if you pick up the kit, then you have everything you need to finish that project. So that is on the list as well. A carpenter square is essential if you're doing any sort of DIY project. So making sure your lines are nice and square is absolutely essential when you're assembling or building anything. You need it square. If you're cutting on the miter saw, you need your line to be nice and square, so you know exactly where you need to cut, and making sure that your miter, your saw blade is coming down nice and square as well. So that is an essential for any DIYer. Tape measures, like I mentioned in the Black Friday deals, a tape measure is essential for all DIY projects, and that was another great stocking stuffer. And then last but not least, for the stocking stuffer ideas, was a chalk line. So this may not be used every single day, but it does help you to get just that nice, perfectly straight line. Say if you need to cut plywood, or you need to you've made something and it's all different lengths and you need to cut them all the same length, say like fence pickets or something like that, chalk line is essential. There's many other ways you use it. I just can't think off the top of my head, but it's a great thing to throw in that DIY stocking. So next up is the list of tools and gadgets that I use all the time and that I thought would also make a fabulous gift for someone. First up is an orbital sander. This project, literally almost every project. So it's so much easier to, like I said, grab that power sander and sand something. Like if you're going to do any stripping at all, you need a power sander. You can get this corded or cordless. So if you're doing a lot of sanding, I would suggest getting the corded. But if you are needing to be more mobile, then go with a cordless. But a power orbital sander is absolutely essential. Next up is I use the DeWalt portable chop saw. So mine is cordless and portable. So it is compact and can be moved wherever and can be used wherever, as long as it's a nice, good, sturdy surface. So if you picked up a couple of those sawhorses that I mentioned back in the Black Friday deals, put a piece of plywood on there and you've got yourself a nice mobile workstation. And you can just plop your chop saw right on top of there and you're ready to go. They also drill kit can't do without my drill kit. I have the driver and the drill combo from DeWalt, and it's cordless. It works absolutely phenomenal. I've had it for several years, and my husband had it for several years before that. So definitely is an essential for any DIYer, but it also is very, very durable. Will last you a very long time. The DeWalt cordless jigsaw is another thing that I use all the time. Circular saws are probably more prominently used, say, on a construction site, but they scare me right now. I have not used them enough to feel comfortable enough to use them. So I use my jigsaw for everything, not just, the curvy, detailed things that I need to cut out. I'll use them for straight things as well. I just clamp a straight edge down and then use that as a guide to cut my straight pieces. But I would say jigsaw is, in my opinion, has just been a lot easier for me to use than a circular saw. So if you've used a circular saw before, by all means, put that would be a phenomenal kit. That would be a phenomenal gift for someone as well. But I feel like the jigsaw is just a little more versatile and a little more user friendly. The DeWalt multi-tool is another thing that it comes in so handy when you need to cut into little places that you just can't get to. It also comes with several attachments to use for multi-purposes. So a multi-tool is really something that, honestly, if you didn't have any other cutting things, could be used for several different things that in your kit. Now this next gadget, oh my gosh, I don't know where it has been all my life, but the Cobalt miter snips. Now there are many other brands, but I found that, and I've bought a couple other kinds, but the Cobalt ones really have worked the best for me. They've been the most sturdy and have cut. They've been sharp enough to cut nice and clean miter sections. So this is great for your small moldings or dowels or things like that are just much easier to grab and cut by hand than it is to take it out to a chop saw. When you try to take that little tiny, the 1/2-inch molding out to the chop saw, it has a tendency to want to, not hold it in place really well. So these little handheld miter snips, oh my gosh, have been a game changer for me. My Craig jig, I could not do any of the projects that I have done this past year without my Craig jig. It is controversial in some carpentry circles, but if you watch most any YouTube video out there, they're using the Craig jig to put things together. So I have just the small bottom of the line of jigs. It's under $50. I think it's $35 or something like that, regular price. So if you can find it on sale, it's even better. But it's just super small, super compact, but does the job of any of the other Craig jigs as well. So you just clamp it on and you drill in your pocket holes, and then you're ready to go to attach 2 pieces of wood together. And with that Craig jig, the clamp, that you can use any sort of clamp, but the Craig clamp really comes in handy. I picked this up a while ago, and it just helps hold that particular Craig jig in place. So nice and easy. So that's another thing. If you wanted to get like a combo gift, get that with maybe some screws. It'd be a great gift. So something I have been looking into getting is a track saw. Like I said, I'm a little nervous about using a circular saw, but having it in a track just seems to make me a little more at ease and a little more comfortable. And it's something that's really needed. The more plywood that I use, the more that a track saw would really come in handy. So that is something that is on my wish list. And I've done some research. Wen brand seems to be the most valuable for the money that you're going to spend on it. So I've included a link to the Wen track saw and the rails that you have to buy separate. So another thing that you may have seen on this channel is the portable table saw. Now this is like a job saw table saw, but again, this is another thing you want to get nice straight, even cuts. You want to get a lot of cuts that are the same size, things like that. You might want a table saw. I've used it a few times, but again, it's something that I am not 100% comfortable with, so that might be something you kind of advance to down the line, but maybe you've gotten really good and handy with the jigsaw or the circular saw or track saw, and you want to upgrade to a table saw. That is, your next step. That would make a phenomenal gift as well. And then last but not least, Dixie Belle paint. You can just click the link that I have here, and if you click on the tabs, it'll show you all the different sizes and all the different colors as well. So any sort of Dixie Belle paint would be absolutely a wonderful gift. You could put a range of colors together, maybe do a few of the basics like a white, a tan, a color that that they use in their home, and then put in maybe some cleaner and some sealer, and you have a wonderful little starter kit for someone who wants to paint any sort of furniture. And as you probably have seen if you've been around this channel for a while, I use it all the time for all kinds of things. Even this wall behind me was painted with the Dixie Belle silk line. So it is used for many, many purposes, and I'm always going to recommend some Dixie Belle chalk-based paint or even the Dixie Belle silk line. So I hope this list can help you a little bit. Like I said, I wanted to just make a more condensed list. Yes, there are things for this season for gifts and for stocking stuffers and Black Friday deals, but this is a list of tools that I use absolutely all the time. So these are things you can pick up at any time of year, a birthday, Mother's Day gift, anything throughout the year that you might want to pick up. These are tried and true tools that, like I said, 98% of them I have used. Yes, I've listed a few wish list items, but most of those I have used and are very great for beginner DIYers and advanced as well. So I hope you all have a very happy holiday, and I will see you in the next one. There's some great projects coming up. I have a family room makeover series that's coming that you may have seen a few sneak peeks of in this video. So I'll see you in the next one.